Good morning, everybody. Ted here, of course. Just looking over the old spaghetti squash garden. The chickens have been in here doing their job. Yes, I do employ chickens. If you have any that need a job, I've got gardens to clear. I just need to make sure that they've got their identification, government issued, of course. Passports will suffice. Um, and yeah, so they've been coming through here and picking and scratching, and of course they get a little treat here and there, but they do all the hard work. And then I let that break down in there, and then the worms do their work during the wintertime. Just a couple of late sunflowers popping up there, a nice little special something something for October. They're usually done in August. But today, we've spent, many of us growers and showers have been spending our season showing everybody what's going on above the ground. And we sometimes talk about what goes on below the ground or below the stem in the roots. If you're doing hydro and they're clogging up your pipes, or for the organic no-till growers like Pilgor 420J and Cali Grown Buds and Killer Shark Organics. Shout out to all three of you guys, rocking it. I know there's a lot more, but it's early and I've only had one J to my head. So, but today I'm taking this raised bed where I had one of the two clones from Audrey 3, which were OG Kush cross with Cali Hayes. And I've harvested this plant, the one that was in the raised bed, and it's hanging downstairs. Harvested that plant, it's curing. The one in the pod was the Han Solo clone that I had up on the deck and then inside the house when it was getting rainy and really close to finish. And this is the half of a 55-gallon drum, excuse me, that I decided to bring over here and empty the contents of it and see what the roots look like. So first thing I did is I went over to the garden and I chopped down the comfrey plant, which I have used extensively during this season, and I've shown in different videos and why it's a good plant to have in your garden. So what I did, I cut that and I brought it over here and I chopped it up with my trusty Colombian Peacemaker. Got this when I was in Costa Rica, and I've had it for 11 years, and I put a file to it, sharpened it up. It does its work. I love it. So anyways, I chopped up the comfrey, and that's going to be food for not only the worms that are in here, but also for fixing some nice, putting some stuff back into the soil. A plant eats dirt basically in its own way, and when you grow a plant in an enclosed area, in a raised bed or in a garden, over time you'll notice that your soil becomes depleted, not only in its fertility but also in its volume. That's the worms changing it from soil to castings. That's just basic bacteria in the soil going through and eating its part, the insects doing their part. Just general, everybody's having a go at the microscopic level on the dirt, and that's where all the action's happening. Yeah, you got the sun and the rain and the birds singing and the beautiful buds, ever expanding to resinous globs of mind candy. But at the end of the day, if your roots aren't happy, it don't matter what goes on up top, because this is where the action happens. So I've just lumbered this thing over from the house and got it up here and turned it upside down on top of the comfrey, and I'm going to put the tablet down just for a moment so I can lift this and we'll see what's going on. Oh, it doesn't want to come. Hold on. Here we go. I'm still here, guys, gals, grummies. Here we go. All right. Whew. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Get a look at this. So, as you can see, rather than rather than what we see a lot of times where the plant gets root bound in a container like this, smaller containers, pots, whatever, potted plants in hard plastic, which I'm a total fan of the fabric pots. Audrey, the mother of this plant and the one that was in the raised bed, Audrey 3, she was in a fabric pot, and I like the way that the air pruning happens. And it appears that this plant did it pretty much exactly the same. I had holes drilled, and the way that this this happened is it's beautiful. I mean, that is. I'll pull this apart, and you can see that the potting soil that I used was ProMix, the ProMix BX or CX, whichever it is, with the mycorrhizae, basic funky word for fungus or bacteria, soil bacteria, and then the nutrients that I fed it, and the compost tea, the comfrey and stinging nettle, and compost, and look at those roots, all that root surface there. That's what chelates all the available nutrients. I don't know what the word means. Chelate, C-H-E-L-A-T-E, or C-H-E-A-L-A-T-E, something like that. Don't quote me on it, but they basically, through chemical process and friction and and moving, will go across all those different particles that are in the dirt, whether it's in real dirt. This is all my nice compost and soil, or the potting soil. It all chelates the nutrients available to get onto the surface of the roots. More root surface means more available nutrients going up into the plant. And if you have big, fat, spirally sort of things going around, it's not really happy. At least that's in my opinion. That's okay. But yeah, that's really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'll just let that sit, and I'm going to add some more material along the outside here, and then I'm going to lay some straw over the top and let that overwinter. And then in the springtime, I'll bust if that's still sitting there, I'll bust that all apart and spread it out, and that'll be a foundation for the next round in this bed. So cheers, guys, gals, gromies, gromettes, grow buds, dudes and dudettes who put seeds in the ground and hope for magic. You guys take care. I'm still putting the gardens to bed. The blue dream is rocking as usual. Mother Nature's been kicking on her hard, but she's 6.5, close to 7 feet tall and getting thick. And so you guys take care. Peace.